Train the muscles, not the joints. So welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about dumbbell presses. Now, a lot of times I get a lot of flack on the internet because people are like, you have to squeeze the chest at the top, you have to contract more, you have to bring the dumbbells more together, because I do the range of motion that keeps the tension on the chest. And then once I hit that optimal range where I feel the tension starts to leave the chest, once it starts to leave and transfer more to the delt, then I basically start to eccentrically lower the weight, right? I start to lower the weight down at that point. Now, because I do this, a lot of times people misunderstand. They say, hey, you're not doing full range of motion, you're not squeezing the chest at the top. But like I've explained in other videos, that when I go from here to here, in some people there's more of a chest squeeze based on when they're stabilizing dumbbells and stuff like that. But because of the way I'm built, I find that the tension leaves the chest and then starts to transfer more to the shoulders and also to the rotator cuff. Now, this might be my own genetic deviation. Maybe it's the way I'm built, but you may find that you might be doing a range of motion that is actually bringing in the delts more. Now, the biggest thing with me when I was training back in the day was that my delts would take a lot more stress, and I was a very delt heavy bencher, and I was very delt heavy in development in the beginning stages of my training. And I noticed that when I optimized the range of motion for chest, that my chest started to grow. Now, of course, I have other challenges now because the hockey injuries and stuff like that, like I've talked about a million times, and I won't get into that. But the thing is that I find that I need to stay with the range of motion that keeps the tension on the chest and doesn't accentuate the instability of the shoulder joint itself. And like I said, when you have a slap tear or something like that, then that sometimes becomes even more of an issue. So then you have to be even more refined when it comes down to your range of motion. Now, do I do full range where I lock up at the top? Never really, because I find that when you're locking the joints out, that's when you're the most unstable, and that's when there's more injury that can actually happen, especially when you're dealing with tension. Say a person arm bars you, or say somebody breaks your arm or does some sort of injury to your knee or to your elbow, it always happens in the locked out position. It never happens in the bent position. So I know people never really talk about this, but that's the fact. When your arm is totally extended or your knee is totally extended, that's when it's more susceptible to injury, right? So I don't ever rest on the joints or rest at the top. I keep that tension on there because I find the tension in the muscle keeps the joint compact, keeps it stabilized, and at the same time, I'm able to push the muscle that I want to hit deeper into failure. Now, if I go here and I come all the way up, right? If I come all the way up and just rest, and then come down, or if I come all the way up and then come right back down, I find that once again, my chest isn't the one that hits failure first. My delts actually start to hit failure first, and the last thing I need is more delt development. So this is why you will not see me do this. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. Perhaps you feel more chest doing this, and if you do, by all means, go ahead. Just train that way. But what I'm really saying to you is follow the feeling. Really pay attention. Like, where are you feeling the tension? What muscle group is giving out first? Don't just blindly do the rep the way people tell you to do it just because that's the way it's done. The way it's done is because that's the way it's done. You know, that kind of illogical sort of concept where people just, like monkeys, just following each other on the internet and just monkey see, monkey do, right? So make sure that you actually connect with your muscles, connect with the body, and actually feel, okay, where am I feeling this tension? And then there's no really right or wrong in this. I mean, if you want to work all the muscles equally, or you don't really care like which one develops more than another, then by all means train that way. But I find in order for me to hit the chest, I need to basically keep that tension on there, and it's more of a refined movement for me, and I find that my chest gets a better pump and my chest actually hits failure. So that's why I dumbbell press the way I do. For you, again, it's going to be different depending on your situation, depending on how you're built, depending on where your joint ratios are and your insertion points of the muscles. And I hope this helps you out with your training. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks a lot to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Yeah, and share my stuff. I think you guys have been forgetting to share my stuff. Come on, man, just share it. Just click down there. There's like a share button or something. You shared it yet?